Okay, so in some ways you can say I went dark because I put my phone in airplane mode for the night, basically. And, you know, a lot of stuff is, you can say, the coming clean thing, you know, the honesty thing, the truth, and just, like, yeah, never really have it, like, understanding yourself, or, like, nobody ever to talk to you about certain things. And then some people you could just completely say everything to and hold nothing back. And then sometimes you could just only say one thing to somebody, you know, and you felt like it said it all when really they just needed to hear so much more and stuff like that. I feel so freaking sick. Like, I feel nauseous because of the way that I'm treating myself, basically, in some aspects you can say, because I'm not sleeping, I'm not taking care of my shit. Like, I'm not consciously recognizing what I'm doing to myself. Yet at the same time, it kind of feels really good because, yeah, it's that whole rebirth thing. I do totally feel like throwing up. And perhaps it's because of the birth control. And I haven't ate besides grapefruit. I just couldn't help but feel really nauseous. It made me, like, want to either completely, I want to say defecate. I don't know if that's the word. Okay, I'm looking for a professional word to say it. Poopy pants. Is that a childer way? Is that a nicer way that you could actually handle to hear someone say? Or would you actually be medicinally trained or aware of, like, what this means, of, like, where either you want to completely purge or, yeah, completely shit yourself is the essence. And in some ways it feels really good if you would either poop, defecate, feces, fertilizer, I don't know, I'm cold. I'm, like, scared and I'm stressed out. And I'm kind of emotional. I'm, like, channeling all kinds of different things. It's hard to stay focused with so many different things processing and things changing at all times. How about, you just feel so much better after relief, and sometimes maybe, you have to urine. It's just like, it's like holding on to it, like you're holding that space, just like people hold space inside themselves with secrets, or, exactly. So it's like all of this is coming out, and all this, like, framework and stuff like that, and, like, lies I told myself, or things that just, like, you know, that drastically made you who you are. Yeah, we're, like, so deeply integrated into your fibers and your skin and your muscles, and just, like, you just don't forget that. You feel it forever. It's like, what are you doing with that power? What does it want for you? Why are you holding on to this? Why do you keep choosing this? Well, look at the patterns. How is this clashing with the reality that you have chosen for yourself? How are you making yourself sick? What are you doing to reduce your sickness? How are you making yourself sick? Is it in the head? Is it in the physical? That made me want to go deeper on dimensions. What is there? Ether, fire, earth. It's the elements. My deaf friend kept trying to sign to me, and it's just so hard to communicate in sign language, though I know exactly what my friend is understanding, though it's really hard to write down and experience, especially since, like, he doesn't really know, though it's like I just know. I can't explain it. William, he's super educated. It's wild, though not, like, super sophisticated, like super taken advantage of, like parents take. He's deaf and his parents take his check, and he's looking for work, and he's an artist, and he's just trying to understand life, and just he can't hear, you know. At the same time, he's so smart. I don't like how people call them deaf and dumb. That's actually really upsetting. It's actually a three-way saying. At the same time, like the whole thing about your work falling upon deaf ears, like as if no one's listening, no one cares. But at the same time, think of that people are choosing to be in that, to not care, or to say that they don't need help, when really they're not helping themselves, or maybe they don't know how, like they weren't taught, or someone else did it for them all the time, so they don't know how. There's so many different circumstances that people just don't really think about, or just don't know, because they're kind of stuck in their own bubble, in their own existence, and they get kind of obsessive about certain interfaces. Like, yeah, some people like gaming, some people like hiking, some people like nature, some people like plants, some people get like, you could say obsessive, and they collect things, and they like material objects, and some people collect, you could say, memories or photographs, or each person valued different things. I call this the pentacles in the house of tarot, essentially. Then there's water, the house of emotions and psychic, intuitive, guidance, depths. It has ups and downs, and it's the same thing with the wands, the fire, and the swords, which are the air, and the pain, and the suffering, and the sacrifice, and there's good and there's bad there. It just feels like an energetic cleanup, and it just like feels somewhat bad because we're somewhat taught and like conditioned to keep this inside and have these fragments, and it's just like these false belief systems that just kind of like just make you feel bad when it's like you're not supposed to feel bad either. Like, why are you treating yourself that way? Or why are you feeding yourself that? Why are you sleeping in this place? Why do you surround yourself with these people? Or are you recognizing what you're doing? You're recognizing your behavioral patterns. At the same time, thy neighbor, any people that you come into experience, you know, it's an opportunity to help them, you know. Essentially, you could be cold-hearted or, judge them because they have done horrible things. We're supposed to forgive and help people clean up their act and recognize truth and get away from the lies. Oh, man. I say, oh man, because I thought, or I recognized a pattern that was an occurrence of where children are touched as kids, right? And then when that happens to them, that a form of showing that out again as they age is, yes, by taking it to the next level of just taking it, you could say. I'm so drained, and I definitely have to write a paper. Which kind of seems easy thing to do, to be frank. I love writing. I thought I would enjoy this. And I still kind of do. I just have to kind of like submerge myself in that. At the same time, like, I feel like I have a duty or responsibility to my family. Like, that is honor to me. Like, my father, like, is life, you could say, is what I wanted to say. Like, my dad means a lot to me. It's frustrating because he's going through this painful ailment on his leg, and in some aspects he's really stubborn, you know. Like, he won't ask for stuff. Like, he'll go grab stuff, and just like, it's like he does it so quick. Like, he knows he can do it, but at the same time, like, you kind of want him to just relax and chill for a minute, or just like communicate, just say something to me. I'll get it for you, please. Like, keep the wound, like, stop it. You know. Conscious awareness. It just like made me so sad. Because, like, I love my dad and it made me want to take care of him. But it's like I didn't even know how to take care of me. Or it's like, I'm still learning too. Or I don't know. And it kind of sucks. Like, I don't know what to do, and then there's nothing or nobody that can really tell you what to do, and that you have the freedom to pick your own choice. And like, yeah, the only way you're gonna get opinions is if you tell your own voice. Though at the same time, everybody felt some other kind of way about your voice and your frequency. Like, all kinds of people are gonna say all kinds of like things that don't matter. They're gonna say the commodity. Commodity. I'm trying to say a word that basically symbolizes like they're all gonna say the same thing. They're all gonna agree. Like, you can, there's literally, it's called this political science, like, where you study the people, where, like, yeah, if you see a bunch of people are saying yes to this, you're more likely to do this. It's a psychological thing. Oh, wow. This made me think about my tarot in a separate way, too, like, when I do my couples readings. There's a lot of shadow. This, I feel like it goes heavy, and I feel like I should mention all those things. Now, essentially, when I do couples readings, perhaps I should mention both, okay? See, sometime on Earth was like a gift. Like you paid this price to feel this way and experience this to, like, live. And, like, so yeah, sometimes you're rewarded with, like, little tiny things that just made you kind of feel good and made it be like, alright, we can keep going. Or, like, whoa, that caught me off guard and I learned that and this, and then you kind of, like, try to pass that, or you can hold that inside, you know? I always like, I was kind of huge into, like, getting, like, the ball passed to everyone and everyone having the same like, it's not communism. It's not like the same structure or same things. I like diversity. It would just definitely be boring if we were all the same. At the same time, I would like to share, like, these essences that could just make the whole existence just, like, better if you could just become more aware of your circumstances and the political science of your existence, essentially. Edward Bernays is connected to Sigmund Freud. And it's called Connected Through Sex and Fear. And there's one more. Like, fear Marshall's like, oh man, like, I can't, it's a psychology thing. So that's also connected to this other thing that I keep trying to talk about, okay? It's not very comfortable to talk about this. And yeah, I'm supposed to be going soon. And I'm at 12 minutes or whatever, and time's ticking fast, right? And it's hard to talk already. Sometimes I like to have code words that kind of symbolize that, like, can't talk. Like, I don't know what code I would change to that. I would change that. I don't know. Make it the same. Code blue. Can't talk. I have something important to say. It's hard. I'm having a hard time coming out. And sometimes people, if they put out information or whatever, I would completely get distracted and lose everything I was trying to say to you. So sometimes I would need someone to be completely quiet because code blue, like, or like it's hard to come out, or just you have to recognize that, or sense, or tap in, or intuition, channel, whatever you want to say. I'm losing fragments, you guys. And some pieces are just for me, and that, like, maybe I'm meant to discover again another time. It just really made you feel like you're losing your fucking mind, though. The whole consciousness of existence. I know I'm talking about Bernays and Sigmund Freud and see, this is the blackout thing that I'm talking about. Like, it's stained. It's like it's compartmentalized. It's put in this space between the spaces where it's like tucked inside a little filing cabinet in my mind that I can have access to. There's 2 words on that document that gives me access points to that. One of them is keeping cards close to your heart. How that can affect things. Yeah, basically from the awareness that because there's attention or there's awareness that it changes the outcome, you could say. I'm tired of feeling some type of way. Yet at the same time, I was choosing to feel this way. Or, like, everything that I had just done and felt and said had pushed me to this place. From my mere existence. Within myself that I experience. All by myself. And that no one can understand my frame of mind or my referencing. Although there are actually people that are trained in this thing. The rabbit hole is deep.